Today, I am super excited to share with you guys a new VR MMORPG that's going to be built for the Quest 3 and other VR systems. Now, this game promises to be everything we have been hoping to see out of a VR MMO for a really long time. Not only is it boasting to offer many classes, top-notch graphics, a great storyline, the ability to customize your character to your heart's content, and much more. This game is called Ancient Quest, and it's currently being developed for the PSVR 2, the MetaQuest 3, and PC VR systems. Now guys, before we get into everything about this game, let me thank our sponsor real quick, VRWave, for making videos like this possible. More about them in just a bit. So what exactly is Ancient Quest? This game is actually kind of like a hybrid between a MMORPG and a just co-op format RPG. So we'll be digging into all the different features that this game is going to offer straight from the Kickstarter page, and guys, I'll link that below. Don't mind if the footage is a little choppy here and there. We ripped it like 6 times and it still came out a little choppy, so we'll try to get a better copy of that footage for the next video. But as for now, it's just to show you guys some of what they have in store for us. So without any further ado, let's dig into some of the features of this game, and we'll be quoting directly from their page. Quote, Ancient Quest is a high-quality online VR RPG heavily inspired by tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons. This game offers a place to meet people, an epic story to be played alone or with groups of up to 4 players, all in a high fantasy universe. It's coming out for, again, PSVR 2, Steam, and MetaQuest 3. You don't have friends to play with? Don't worry. Cities and outposts are social hubs with spatial voice chat where you can meet every player. Have a break at the local tavern and make new friends, create a guild, trade craft, and form a party to advance the story and explore the world. Once out of social hubs, your area will be instanced for your group. It will react to your actions and presence within dynamic events that can be cataclysmic. This hybrid MMO/co-op format takes full advantage of VR without being limited by MMO restrictions like slow combats and empty worlds, but we still get that MMO feeling like in cities, dungeons, housing, character progression, and multiplayer exploration. Just a quick reminder that all sequences in the footage are from the early alpha footage of the game and are not representative of the final product's quality. So let's dig into some of the features that they're talking about adding into the game, which they've already got some pretty good demos for, which is an engaging combat system. And this is something that all MMOs actually say, is they have an engaging combat system. But let's see what they're talking about. Fight powerful and epic monsters from all sizes and shapes, making full use of VR strengths. Physically dodge, parry, move around your target, and use special abilities including magic and a wide range of weapons, a sword, shield, bow, dagger, and more. Face furious foes with advanced combat mechanics. And honestly guys, the combat does look pretty good in this game so far. Also inspired by the classic MMO genre, Ancient Quest offers group fights requiring a great coordination between players. You will quickly notice that enemies can hit hard and can be smart. Even when you're alone, you will discover fast and fun gameplay where enemies try to surround you, stay at a distance, flee, or completely change their behavior in the middle of a fight to surprise you. If you prefer easier fights, you can find plenty of more peaceful places where you can hunt for a few gear or slay weak goblins. Yes, there can be dozens of them, but yeah, weak. And that was a direct quote from the page. So let's dig into the world to explore. Quote, VR is a great way to immerse into a fantasy world with great visuals. That's one of our main focuses. We want your journey to be an absolute feast for your eyes. We like colors, we like dense and believable environments that are pseudo-realistic but yet fantastic. From the green fields of Sidoria Valley to the blue mushrooms, swamps, frozen peaks, and tropical forests, we want you to truly be excited to travel to the next city or outpost. We already worked hard on optimization to be able to purpose great visuals even if if it's a VR game. And in brackets there they have, and we're not done though. So of course they're not done with the visuals yet. This is in early access right now, or early development. Quote, while you explore, you'll find dynamic events with monsters attacking peaceful places, a flood causing a river to overflow and making the area very different from your latest visit, or simply a farmer at the border of a road asking you to heal one of his cows. They are not waiting for you to click on the exclamation mark to happen. You found a small and strange looking cavern. Are you sure there's no ancient mechanism hidden inside? That could be a whole new subzone for you to solve a puzzle. Maybe check again. So it sounds like this game is going to have a lot of events that happen just because you come upon them, which means that these events you do not have to click to interact with. They will kind of just play out. This could be reminiscent of things like Skyrim, where some events are just playing as you walk into the game, and of course they're kind of scripted, but there's a little trick to this, and who knows if they're using possibly AI NPCs for some of this stuff. We'll have to wait to see. The story and lore helps saving Ailey from a tragedy whose scope goes far beyond anything you could imagine. Don't worry, you won't be alone. Endearing characters, unexpected twists, and supported by voice dubbing of the main story and numerous possible interactions with a lore-filled world. The world appears to have been invaded by Draken, a race of lizardmen never before seen. You have been their slave in a mine for months, but it's time to attempt a revolt and regain your freedom. The story will guide you in the game. As you progress in it, you will unlock new places, new specializations, features, optional dungeons, and more. Characters will talk to you, look you directly in the eye, and also follow you in combat. You can progress in solo or with a full party with scalable difficulty. We want you all to feel like this is a tabletop RPG campaign you can do with friends. Specializations and talents. Progress through 50 character levels, learn new abilities, and unlock specializations. Our original class system allowing you to adjust how you want to fight. Specializations are like mini classes, each focused on one theme. For example, Pyromancer for fire and magic. Your character can unlock all specializations, but you have to enable and gain experience with them to unlock the abilities. When you are in cities/outposts, you can freely change your active specialization. Additional fun part, you can have 2 active specs simultaneously. So if you pick Pyromancer and Swordsman, you can now be efficient in melee combat and burn your enemies with fire spells. And your sword is now imbued with fire to cause extra damage. So they're allowing a class mixture system, which is something we've definitely been waiting for in a VR MMO or a VR RPG in general. I can't wait to see what they do with this. Back to the quote. We plan to have a bare minimum of 6 specializations, and we will expand to have up to 12 plus. For now, 5 are confirmed, which is Swordsman, Pyromancer, Cleric, Guardian, and Archer. And just to get into the specifics of what those classes will do, the Swordsman will be the melee fighter, the Pyromancer will be the range magical damage dealer, the Cleric will obviously be the healer, the Guardian a tank, and the Archer will be the physical ranged damage dealer. They say they'll present us with more detail on the different classes that will be coming out in the upcoming dev blogs. Talents are passive bonuses that you can unlock with talent points each time you gain a level. They can reduce your aggro range using light armor, reduce the amounts of materials you need to craft, or alert you if there's a dangerous monster nearby. There are hundreds of talents, but you can unlock all of them. Once you've reached level 50, you continue to gain experience. Each time you fill the experience bar, another talent point, but your level stays at 50. Wait. So once you hit level 50, they still allow you to level up, or at least your level cap stops at 50, but they will continue to allow you to gain XP so that you can get all of the talents. That's kind of awesome. More about this philosophy and talents in the dev blog number 4 on YouTube. So I'll see if I can include that in the link below if you guys are curious about that. Hey guys, let me interrupt this video real quickly to talk about today's sponsor, VRWave. VRWave makes prescription lenses for your VR headset. And if you're like me and you play lots of MMOs, this is going to be extremely helpful and more comfortable for your overall VR experience. Now how this works is they take your glasses prescription and then shrink it down into a lens that you can magnetically clip to the inside of your VR headset. This makes it highly easy to remove and clean these lenses on both sides. In addition, they provide lenses for blue light sensitivity and astigmatism. So guys, if you're looking for a better visual experience in virtual reality, then go ahead and hit up VR Wave today and use my code Red Devil Studios to get 5% off. Now let's get back into the video. Items and stats. Loot the proper equipment to become a powerful mage or an unstoppable tank. Ancient Quest uses a classic style item progression. You can get them in many different ways, either at merchants that drop from monsters or through crafting. Items you equip grant you statistic boosts that your characters need for attack and defense. At max level, we plan to propose progression through equipment. There are several item qualities. The very rare one is only available through harder content. That said, we don't plan to push this item progression too far. We want the whole game to be playable without having to grind for better armor. Your equipment is only here to help you. You may be able to kill the hardest boss with the average equipment if you play well. Speaking of hard bosses, dungeons. Adventure with 4 players in dungeons filled with dangers and treasures. Dungeons are optional content, not needed to finish the main story. Recommended for a party of 4 players. Expect MMO-inspired dungeons where each player should fulfill specific roles, such as a tank, healer, or DPS, and advanced combat mechanics with multi-phase bosses, aggro system, and telegraphed deadly attacks. Dungeons are the most intense and difficult fighting place in the game, but it's also where you can find the best equipment. You don't have friends to play with? No worries. We plan to integrate in-game tools to help you play with a party, aka a dungeon finder. Note that dungeons with more than 4 players may be added, but 4 players is the focus for now. Player housing. Buy a flat or house, decorate it how you want with your trophies from dungeons and exploration that can give you passive bonuses. Make the house public to create a club and keep it private to have a private meeting room with your friends to talk to about a difficult boss strategy. Equipped it with shared media screen to watch a video stream together. That's pretty cool. They did kind of a VR chat thing with the player housing almost. Housing in VR is awesome, and we all want to support that. We want you to be able to create your very own place and bring in your friends or everyone. Housing is often seen in MMOs as a useless feature, but not an ancient quest. Aside from the social aspect, we want it to be a place for you to store your items, apply passive buffs from your trophies, and cultivate plants or mini games. We also want to expand system guilds with bigger houses, gardens, and player-driven shop. But first, let's make sure we have a great player housing system. I really love this idea behind the player housing system. This sounds amazing. Gathering and crafting. What would an online RPG be without gathering and crafting? You will find plants, wood, minerals, and even more everywhere you go in the world. For the rare one, you may have to carefully explore to get the treasure, but once you've got your goods, you return to the city and use crafting stations to create weapons, armors, potions, and decorations for your house. If you need money, you can trade your creations or gathered stuff with other players in the living economy. Every player doesn't like to fight in an RPG, even more in VR. Sometimes you simply want to chill in cities, have a chat with strangers, and do side activities. Crafting is made for this. We want it to be complex enough with mini games and progression system for it to be fun to play. Note that some resources may be available only on dangerous monsters, but you can still buy them from other players. Dragon scales don't grow in the trees, sadly. They promise that it's not a pay-to-win kind of system. Yes, they do plan having a cash shop, but it will contain cosmetic items and a few capes with probably very few quality of life items like an account bank expansion or additional character slot. No pay to win stuff here. They're strictly against the pay to win policy, so there's going to be no boosters, no items with extra stats, no real life money in the game to do transactions. Armor and weapon skins are not planned to be for sale. We believe that its best looking equipment must be acquired in game. Players' progression must be visible on the character. Cosmetic items add flavor such as capes and tattoos, visual flourishes here and there, but they don't really plan on adding too much in the coolest armor is going to be something that you have to purchase this season and then it'll be gone. No, they want that armor to be something you find in the game. So guys, this game sounds really amazing. There's also a huge chunk of list of Kickstarter rewards here, which I can look up in a different video and show you guys what the Kickstarter rewards and the stretch goals for this game is, but this video is already getting quite long. I think it's gonna be amazing. I'm definitely going to be looking into this a lot more in the next few weeks. The Kickstarter does end in just a few weeks, so if you guys want to get in on the game, I'll leave a link below. Don't forget to use that thanks button on my channel if you love hearing more about new VR MMOs and you like having someone else do the research and make the videos and put it out for you. Thank you so much, guys. If you want to get yourself some awesome VR Wave lenses and have a better visual experience in VR, then hit up VR Wave in the link in the description. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.